to join the World Economic Forum. At that time, China was not joining the WTO yet. I thought the world is going to welcome the globalization. But that day, hundreds of people were against it. People would demonstrate on the street. People hate globalization. So I had no idea because we thought globalization was good, but people did not like it. So I started to think about what is globalization? How can we do globalization in a better ways? So that was year 2001. But I think today a lot of people hate cross-border trade. A lot of people say globalization is no good. I am a strong believer of globalization. I think globalization is still a baby. It's only 20, 30 years. We should give globalization another 20 or 30 years. We should make it more inclusive. We should make more people involved in it. In the history, those countries that have a great emperors and kings, they control the trade. If they love to do the cross-border trade, their nation's business will grow. Their nation's business people will be happy and the people will be happy. In the past 50 years, the world trade was controlled by 60,000 big companies. And only big companies have this opportunity. So the small business did not have opportunity. Developing countries did not have this opportunity. What if we can make 90% of the small business? What if we can make the developing countries that benefit from globalization? What if we give another 30 years for the globalization to be more inclusive? This is what I believe. The first human beings, the first globalization, which I think is a Silk Road. And at that time, they're using the traditional way, the Silk Road. Today, at the internet time, I think we should transfer Silk Road to E-Road. The E-Road is to connect every country. The E-Road is to give inclusive opportunity for everybody. The E-Road, which I believe, in the ancient time, in the ocean, we have a seaport. Airplane, we have an airport. Bus, we have a bus stop. On the E-Road, we need an E-Hub. That E-Hub will empower everybody. If you have dreams, if you want to working hard, if you have a dream outside the country, your area, please join that E-Hub. So today, the DFTZ, the Digital Free Trade Zone, is the first digital free trade zone outside China. And it's amazing. I really would love to thank Prime Minister, thank Malaysia, and thank everybody here who give it commitment to this project. This is the first hub specifically designed for small business and young people. We know in the whole world, every government said, small business is important. We should have small business, but we should find real solutions for them. We should find real policies for them, and we should have real facilities to empower the small business. This e-hub,
很高兴你能看到这个视频，相信你也是一个有梦想、不甘于平凡的人。我是互联网创业的先行者潘霞教练。如今互联网已经是趋势了，你在玩手机、电脑的同时，有没有想过通过一部手机就可以创业，实现有钱有闲的生活呢？我们已经帮助了很多80后、90后，还有50多岁的网盲大姐，甚至还有残疾人，通过我们这个平台买房买车，实现了有钱有闲的生活。如果你也渴望成功，那么请记下我的联系方式，我的微信是99632854，99632854。朋友，了解不会失去什么，但拒绝了解可能会错失良机。谢谢。
This digital free trade is the one that we feel excited about, and we promise we will work on together to improve it. And this is the new beginning. So,
不管你愿不愿意承认，我们的生活都已经被移动互联网一网打尽了。我们有一个共同的身份——低头族。2015年底，中国互联网络发展状况统计报告显示，全球网民人数逼近40亿，中国手机网民达7.8亿。2015年，中国电子商务市场交易规模 国为16.4万亿，增长22.7%。2015年双11，天猫实现交易额912.17亿元，其中无线交易额为626亿元，占比高达68.67%。我们的生活已经离不开互联网，购物有淘宝，旅游有携程，出行有滴滴，本地消费有美团，交友有微信。我们成就了无数的互联网大亨，但你希望互联网也成就你吗？如果能让您有机会借助网络，在您玩手机或电脑的同时，玩出一份不错的收入，你想要吗？
现在不是钱难赚了，而是赚钱的方式变了。如今互联网时代，你是否想过让手机变成我们赚钱的工具？如果你目前很迷茫，找不到赚钱的方向，那么这就是你最佳的事业机会。一部手机，一台电脑，人到哪里，钱就赚到哪里。让你在玩手机的同时，可以玩出不错的收入。在这里有人教，有人帮，有人带，没有风险，没有压力。想赚钱加雄伟教练微信7100280577，7100280557。真正的精彩在后面等着你。
So, the other thing I want to say, in this free trade, this digital free trade zone, we're going to using the new technology to empower small business and young people. It will be logistic hubs. We're going to one-stop service. We're going to big data. As long as you have a good products, you have a good ideas, this facility is going to enable you. And people say, why Malaysia? Of course, I said 4 months ago in Beijing, and I did not think we could make it happen. But Malaysia is very business friendly. It's very efficient. It's much more efficient than I thought. The other thing, I told about the story last time in Beijing, and I would share the story again. The Silk Road, which China oriented. China is famous for the Silk Road, but Malaysia, without Malaysia, the Silk Road will not be that successful. People will say, maybe ask why. The Silk Road at that time, main products to sell tea leaves. And tea at that time was so expensive, difficult, very expensive to preserve, to protect. But Malaysia has the best mine of tin. And the Silk Road, because of the Malaysia mine of the tin plus the tea makes the Silk Road happens. Without the tin of Malaysia, the Silk Road tea trade will never be that popular. And of course, without the tea trading, without the Silk Road, in 18th century, Malaysia will never be the #1 country of having the tin products. So this is amazing of trade. And I'm a strongly believer that if the trade stops, war starts. Trade is to make people respect the other people's culture. Trade is not about a product exchange. It's about an idea exchange, innovation exchange. So I'm a strong believer that one day, if the world stops trade, the war will start. And if the world stops, the trade begins. So today, in Alibaba history, it's our first time, our CEO Daniel from Alibaba Group, Chairman of Ali Ant Financing, Lucy, and all the Alibaba senior management, together with 16 largest logistic companies of China, we come to Malaysia for this great event. We think today symbolize that government and business can work it together. This symbolize that a nation would commit for the digital period for inclusive for everybody. I know it's not easy. We can launch, negotiate for 4 months, but make it happen may take about 4 years or 14 years. To improve it will take about 40 years. But if we start from today, things could happen. And I want to say in the past 10 years, many things changed. China, e-commerce, nobody would believe that e-commerce could happen in China. People keep on asking me, why Alibaba go that big on e-commerce, bigger than the United States? Why not because we are smart. I'm not smart. We don't have a lot of smart people like 15 years ago. This is because the business infrastructure in China at that time were too bad. In the USA, commerce infrastructure was so good. So it is very difficult for e-commerce to survive. E-commerce in America is a dessert, but in China, it becomes the main course. And I think here the same. I heard that 97% of the business in Malaysia are small business, but they control only less than 40% of the GDP. I think 90% of the small business could produce at least 80% of the GDP. Because if we have more small business, that means we have more jobs. If we have more small business, that means we have more middle class. If we have more small business, that means the country's economy can be stabilized, can be sustainable. So the digital free trade zone is trying to make the business more inclusive, is trying to make the small business, the business more sustainable, and try to make the business world more happy and healthy. For example, for the e-business grows so fast, we also grow another business called logistics. Today, the 16 companies coming here, they get 70% of the logistic package delivered in China. What does that mean? 15 years ago, China only created less than 1 billion packages per year. Today, China created more than 30 billion packages per year. And 70% of the logistics were created by the people here, 16 companies. And these 16 companies, 10 years ago, none of them exist. This is the magic of technology. This is the magic of the entrepreneurships. So if you really want to do it, we can make it happen. And we want to make this logistic, we'll make this hub be the center of this hub. We were making sure in every 72 hours, in next 20 years, anywhere in the world, if you want to place an order online, within 72 hours, you receive it. So this will be the hub of this area and working together. And finally, I want to say that the first time I heard about Alibaba has a wrong definition was in Malaysia. They think Alibaba is a thief. We will prove it, because I was considered, people call me thief, a liar, 18 years ago when I tell about what is internet in the future, what e-commerce will do for the world. Nobody believed it, and we proved in the past 18 years. And I want, let's work together that we should change the dictionary in Malaysia for Alibaba. And the other thing I want to say that last year I fly in the air for more than 800 hours. I travel around the world. I learn a lot of things. I understand one thing. What does globalization mean? Globalization is not to go the other carrier because of the cheap labor. It's not about open factories going there because there is cheap, low-cost raw materials. Globalization means create jobs, create values for the local people. Globalization means make technology, financing, everything inclusive. And globalization means respect the other culture. So this is what we want to do in the next 30 years, using the technology, making young people below 30 years old, making small business less than 30 people. Next 30 years is the great period for human lives. If we view it good, let's do it in a good way. So the Silk Road and the One Road, One Belt is something we should think about. We should use technology. We should leverage young people. Let's immobilize all the small business. It's about inclusive friendship, peace. And I think this country, this location was so friendly to business, not only today, in the history, and it's going to be the future. Because of the digital, this country, this area could be more powerful. This is what I believe. And finally, people keep on asking, in the future, which side will win, west side or east side? And I'm a believer, it's not west wing or east wing. If we work together, we both win. And there's nothing that we cannot do if we work together. Making sure the world is for young people. Making sure the world is for small business. And making sure that everything we do are inclusive. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.